speaking of a hot list, you're talking about the Bleacher Report top 100, right?
Right.
Okay, let's talk about that because we had a chat in the back. All right, let's run through the list first, and
Okay.
let's see
Yeah.
what we have there.
I wanted to see the the top 20 probably. We'll take a look at that and kind of weigh in on on this, and probably maybe I can give you guys my top five, and I know it's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay,
Right.
let's go. Let's talk about, as you said, let's talk about the top
Right.
20 first. So,
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah.
top 20 on the Bleacher Report list?
So okay, so the top 20, I'll go from 20 down to number one, so we
Yep.
can number 20 we have Dr. J. Number 19, the Admiral David Robinson. Number 18, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 17, Nikola Jokic. Number 16, the Big Ticket. Number 15, the Logo, Jerry West. Number 14, the Big O, Oscar Robertson.
Oh,
Number 13 is KD Trey 5.
Easy Money Sniper.
Is Easy Money Sniper. Yep. Number 12 is The Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon. And this is where it kind of gets,
Here we
a
go.
little bit questionable, right? Number 11 is the Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bean. Rest
Number
in peace.
10 is Steph Curry, Chef Cookin. Number 9 is Wilt the Stilt. Number 8 is Larry Bird. Number 7, Tim Duncan.
The big fundamental.
Number 6, Shaq.
Okay.
The Big Diesel, the Big Aristotle. Number 5 is Bill Russell. Number 4 is Magic Johnson. Number
Yep.
3 is the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 2 is the chosen one, LeBron James.
We're
And of
calling him
course,
that now. Okay. I mean,
And
there's
of
no doubt
course-
who's number one, right? We don't even need
We
to
know
say
who's
his
number
name,
one.
but we have
the
to.
GOAT,
Who's number one?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
The GOAT.
Yep.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All right, there's no doubt about that.
There's no doubt.
About the top three at least, right?
Yep.
So can we just say that the top three is legit? That's pretty much what most people would say. The top three of
Most
this list
people
is
would say, yeah.
right. I think a lot of people would put LeBron at number one, or maybe even Kareem at number two.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the three players, in no specific order, I think that's probably the common list there. Michael, LeBron, Kareem. would be
Right.
there. Okay. So you're talking about. I mean, let's just get straight to the point. You're talking about Kobe at number 11 here, and we have some feelings about that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's an argument that, so right now, I don't know if you see it on social media. Before I get to the argument that, that us Kobe supporters, or us who kind of, who lived through the Kobe era, there's something going on social media right now that that is trending. It's not really trending, but what I see a lot of posts right now is that they're diminishing the impact of Kobe Bryant. And Byron Scott himself, I don't know if I forgot which podcast he was on, but he kind of said
that was his Fast Break podcast. That was his own.
Fast Break
I think I know
podcast.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he was like, he's not here to defend himself, so it's
Yep.
unfair, to kind of talk shit about him. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. A lot of videos where you see people diminishing the impact of Kobe Bryant.
So first
I've
off,
seen
shout
the
out.
arguments. Yep.
Yeah, first off, shout out to Alden Polynice, OP, and Byron
OP,
Scott for that.
yeah.
Right. That was the episode I think you were talking
Yeah.
about where.
Yeah.
I mean, Alden Polynice is a Kobe friend.
Right.
They have stories,
Mhm.
and then I think that's what you're talking about. But you mentioned some people who are talking shit.
Yeah.
Do you want to call them out?
I don't even know who actually.
There's a
I'm
couple.
just
There's a
scrolling.
couple I know. So Olden
Yeah,
Polynese called them out straight. So
yeah.
one is Jeff Teague. Obviously, when a successful
Jeff
podcaster,
T.
he's
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
podcast is really really entertaining. To be
Right.
honest, he talks
Uh,
some stuff. I love the guy T Mac. He's talked some stuff as well. Olden
mm,
Polynese called them out really.
yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, you go on.
So, I mean, for, and this is why I had that argument back then that Kobe and MJ are 1A 1B because the argument for Kobe proponents is that he took, or on one side, all right, on one, there's two sides. On one side there's people saying, oh, he just copied all of MJ's moves. On the other side, yes, he did copy all of MJ's moves, but he kind of took them to another level. Kobe was a better 3-point shooter. Um, he had his foot. He took that footwork, MJ's footwork, which is already like ahead of everyone else, and he took it a step further. Um,
Yeah.
he, I, MJ's work ethic is up there, but Kobe was just a psycho. He was just like he was just mad, crazy. So that
I
and
think
that kind of
yeah.
that kind of puts him on that level as well. I think.
Yeah, that was that. I think
Mm.
my favorite Kobe training story is probably when the one where they were all in Vegas, I believe, Team
Oh, with
USA.
the Dream Team,
This
yeah, yeah,
was the
yeah,
this was the Redeem Team,
the Redeem
and
Team, yeah,
the story was they went on. Kobe was going on, I think, a 4 a.m. bike ride
right,
throughout the Vegas desert, and everyone started joining him.
yeah,
But the wild thing is, he's already done his workout after. That's his recovery.
that was his recovery.
he just that was it's insane what the work ethic is and
Mm,
his Kobe's own explanation for why he's doing that. Right, it's just maniacal in my opinion. Where
yeah,
this explanation for his work ethic is that if he works harder than anyone he's competing against,
mm,
he knows that he's always going to be better than them regardless because they're never going to
yeah,
catch up.
yeah.
So that's just a crazy way of thinking
That's
about
crazy.
it.
Yeah,
If you ask
yeah,
me. Yeah, but go on. You talk. So that's the work ethic, right? So
yeah. And
that's
then
that's the
also,
trademark.
yeah, one of my favorite stories is the one where that the night after that Utah game when he was a rookie and he shot like the 4 air balls, and as soon as he comes home from the airport, he goes straight to the gym, the gym of the high school right by where he lives, and it's like 3 4 a.m. and he asks the janitor to open the gym for him, and he's just there like all day. It's like all he's doing is shooting. Just
And
so
he did that.
just so it doesn't happen again.
And he even missed a career acting opportunity because of that. We talked
Yeah,
about this, right? We talked about that he was supposed to be Jesus Shuttlesworth,
yeah. And he
right?
got
That's
game. Yeah,
what he was supposed to be, but he turned it down because he wanted to train. So
yeah,
he essentially sacrificed everything else
Mhm.
for the game, which is part
yeah.
of his allure and trademark. Yep.
Mhm.
Go on.
So yeah, I think that's the reason why I think the 11 ranking Kobe at number 11 is kind of diminishing, his true impact to the game and the way the way he has impacted not just the game itself of basketball, not just inspiring people with his work ethic, but also Kobe is Los Angeles. You know, the city he is, he is what makes our city. He's one of the reasons which makes Los Angeles a great city because of the way he's impacted people, the way he's inspired people, he's influenced them, um, and the thing is with Kobe, it wasn't always that way in his 20 years. Like he's had his share of of really low points in his career. Like he him as a rookie, as a second year, third year player, being misunderstood. People thinking he's just a ball hog. But really understood. The way he approaches the game, the way his work ethic is. And then of course he had that case in Colorado. Which kind of really set him back. But the way he just rose out of and redeemed himself out of after everything is just that's just a testament to who he is. Like he's that type of he's just that type of person. Like you can knock me down all you want, but I'm gonna get back up on my feet. Yeah.
So if we're going to the list, then look, there's really a case for him to be in the top 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where this
Top
is
five
headed.
even. Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Who would you? So among the top 10 top 20 that we talked about, what would be the? Well, who would get out of the? Who would you take out of the list just to get Kobe in? I guess probably that's what we want to.
With that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who would be? So you got the untouchables, Mike,
Yeah.
LeBron, Kareem, obviously,
Right.
Magic. You can't touch Magic,
Mhm.
right? And then it gets dicey after that.
Yeah.
I think that's where this list is headed, right? You got
Mhm.
Bill Russell. Is Bill Russell someone we
Bill
want to?
Russell.
Bill Russell 11 championships, but
Bill
the
Russell.
thing with
Yeah.
Bill Russell
I mean,
is, yeah, yeah, go.
yeah. Bill Russell has 11 rings. The only thing with Bill Russell is, you know, you can't like. We've seen clips of him. We've seen how he defends. I think even now, no one is. I haven't seen anyone as who can jump. I mean, there's rarely other players who can jump twice and jump at the same height.
Yeah, he looked like a freak. Really, he
Yeah,
looked amazing.
It was I think it's Bill
Yeah,
Russell.
defensively speaking.
One of those guys. Yeah. The only thing with that is he was playing in an era where the average height of NBA players was a foot shorter than him or Wilt, and
Really.
or like six. The average height was like 6'2", 6'3", and you had like centers who were 6'5", 6'6". So he was really
And
dominating.
also, I believe that I think there was also 8 teams in the league around
8 or
that
10
time.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So it was really,
a lot of
if you
yeah.
had the way that those Celtics teams of the 60s were constructed is just they were just constructed to dominate.
It was obscene,
So-
really. It was like
obscene. It's obscene.
it's like if you want to put it in a more relatable sense,
Mhm.
they kind of look like an all-star team back in the day, right?
They did, yeah, because you had, well, this is the genius of like as obnoxious as he was, this is the genius of Red Auerbach. Like
So-
he
But
traded his star players for that number 1 pick to get Bill Russell. And then he had his magical point guard, Bob Cousy.
Mr. Kuzi, Yep.
And then he had 2 shooters with him. I think it was Hondo Havlicek and another one. It's for Casey Jones or something.
yeah, but
yeah. But that
I
team
mean,
was constructed
I don't
to
want
just-
to. I don't want to. I don't. I really don't want to discount his 11 rings, right? But
No, you don't.
it's
No,
kind of
we
looking
can't.
like.
Yeah. Mhm.
But the thing is, that was an era wherein, as you mentioned, there were less teams. The
Yeah.
player talent pool was a little bit less.
Mhm.
And this is a slippery slope as far as discussion is concerned. That's why I hate talking about eras.
Mhm.
But if we're comparing player versus player, do you think Kobe would be, as a player, better than Bill Russell? What's your thoughts about that?
As a player, like in terms of
let's
overall.
yeah, let's try not to think about their era and all that stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
but from
I
a
mean,
player versus player perspective.
I
Because
would say,
I think this is where you're going, right?
yeah.
You're probably gonna put Kobe in this air
Uh, in the top, yeah, in the top
because
five, yeah.
Magic, Kareem,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, MJ are going nowhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if Kobe's gonna be in the top five, he's got to be better than the rest of these guys. You can make an argument. Okay,
Uh,
let's go to the bottom of the list first. So
yeah,
Kobe versus Steph, you can make that argument that
yeah.
Kobe's better. He's
So
just
we,
got.
yeah, just more all
We all
around player.
know Curry's standing, right? He's the
Yeah,
best shooter in
ever.
history.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I think you can put Kobe in front of him,
Right.
realistically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the fact that Curry is so heavily dependent on the system that's built around him to dominate,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
right? Without
Mm-hmm.
I don't get me wrong, Curry's still gonna be that same great shooter regardless
Yeah.
of where he goes, but his magic, his impact is really blown up because of the system that he's playing in.
The
So
system,
I
yeah,
can I
yeah,
can get with that.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. How about Wilt? What's your argument for? Do we have an
Oh,
argument for Kobe over Wilt?
yeah, yeah. I'll get to that in a second. But you were speaking about the system that Curry plays in, and this is another reason why I think MJ and Kobe kind of transcend that because they fit perfectly into the triangle offense, right? But if they had that switch, they could just easily, you know, they could just easily forget that system and do their thing.
Yep.
So that's kind of Now, yeah. Speaking of okay, Wilt Chamberlain, 50.4 points a game.
That's insane,
Um,
man. Is it a 50-20 season? I think there
it
was
was
one
a
like that.
50-20 season. I think it was a 50-20
That's
season.
insane, man. If we're
Yeah,
talking about raw stats, man, no one's gonna top Wilt,
raw
right?
stats. No one's gonna top Wilt. No one's gonna top Wilt. But again, this was an era where players were not as dominant. The average NBA player was not as dominant. Um, Wilt
There was
won.
even an argument that Kobe's 81-point game is greater than Wilt's 100, just because of the fact that they were essentially force feeding Wilt the ball in that
They
game.
were force
They were
feeding Wilt the
fouling on the
ball.
other end to extend the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that number was essentially forced.
yeah,
So that's a lot of people were saying that Wilt's 100%. I mean, it's still a feat, right?
yeah.
Don't get me
And
wrong, but
yeah, there might even be a
the
little bit of luck there
circumstances weren't great.
because remember, Will Chamberlain was a poor free throw shooter. That night, he made 28 of 32. I'm looking at the stats right now.
And also Kobe's 81, all those 81 points were needed. They were down, man.
They were down.
They were down in that game, right?
Yeah,
They were down in that game. They needed
yeah,
someone to take over, and Kobe
yeah.
did. But we're not here to argue the merits of
No,
that game.
yeah.
But I can see why some people would want to put Kobe over Wilt.
Right.
I can get behind
And
that.
of course, like Wilt,
You want
Wilt only won 2 championships, but that was more in part because he kept facing Russell. He was a great player on a good team, while Russell was a great player on a great team. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It was, and this is where we kind of agree with. Look, we talked about LeBron on this show,
Yeah,
right? But the way he spoke about ring culture, there,
yeah.
while I think he is speaking about ring culture because of his failure to get six, he does have a point, right?
Right.
Rings aren't really supposed to be the end all of for
If you
rankings,
want to
but
measure greatness,
it
no,
does
it can't
help.
be the end all be all. Yeah,
Yeah, it helps the argument.
but it's a
You
huge
can't
impact.
say
Mhm.
you can't say, let's say, okay, John Stockton is more assists than Magic Johnson. You can't say John Stockton is on an all time list is better than Magic because
Mm-mm.
Magic's got 5 rings, bro.
Magic has the
You
rings.
just can't do that. So
Yeah.
I think you use rings as some sort of a tiebreaker,
Yeah.
some sort of
Uh,
an extra layer of comparison, but it
mm-hmm.
can't be because you can't use it for just he's got the most rings, he's so great because dude, Russell's got 11 rings. Ori's
Right.
got I think 7.
Corey
You
has
can't put
7.
Robert
Yeah.
Ory over you can't put Robert Ory over Charles Barkley. That's just not gonna
Mm-hmm.
work.
No, no.
Okay, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because
anyway, so
Robert Ory
we're up to
was a part of the was he was not the reason why those he was partially the reason but not the centerpiece of those championships. So he was a role player,
yep.
role player at the perfect time.
So right, next up is Bird. Would you put Kobe over Bird?
Ooh, Larry Bird. So Larry Bird has 3 rings. Kobe has 5. Kobe was just a more talented player. I mean the knock on Larry Bird is what. I mean, and I still put Larry Bird, on the top 10 list. Probably even top 5 because Larry Bird, he couldn't run fast, didn't jump high, but he just knew how to he just knew how to be
He
in
was
the
smart.
exact same
Yeah.
place at the right place at the right time. Super smart. Yeah.
You know when you're playing pickup and there's this old dude, there's this old slow dude
Yeah.
who always seems to get buckets, who always seems to know where to pass
The
the
open
ball,
man
who always
is,
seems to
yeah.
know where to run. That's
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
Yeah. That's him. Yeah. And Larry
So
Bird was
that's Larry
also
Bird, right?
Larry Bird was also a psycho competitor.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
his
we
I think
there
if
was
it's trash talking, he's number 1.
you think? Nah,
Yeah.
I still think Jordan's gonna be there,
Jordan
bro.
and
But
him are
okay,
yeah.
I think it's them. It's them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. It gets dicey around these parts because of
Right.
how great Larry is and the impact of him and
Yeah.
Magic are. Let's I the next one on this list is a bit of a doozy. It's Shaq, really.
Shaq.
Sorry, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is probably one of
Oh,
the
Tim
greatest power
Duncan.
forwards.
Oh yeah.
He's probably the number 1 power forward, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I would put him as the number 1 power forward in league history.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The comparison between him and Kobe, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Because Tim Duncan, he's also a defensive player. The thing that sets Kobe apart from a lot of these people on this list is because of his standing on defense as well,
Defense.
right? So
Yep.
Kobe is 12-time member of all defense. Okay, he's apart from being a scorer, he's also a defensive player. But Duncan is 15 times. He's a 2-time MVP, right? 5-time champion, matches
Right.
Kobe. I think the only thing that's different here are the stats. Duncan is because Duncan played. Duncan wasn't really much of a. I mean, he can score, but that wasn't his
Right.
job.
Yeah.
So his points per game aren't gonna be as pretty.
Right.
But from a defensive perspective, from a rebounding perspective, Duncan is the best power forward ever.
Yep.
Would you? This is a
100%.
tough question. Would you put
Yeah.
him? Would you put Kobe over him in this list?
Like you mentioned, if rings are a tiebreaker, then Kobe's got 5, Duncan's got 4.
No, he's got 5. Duncan's got 5 too.
Wait, he's got 5.
Yeah, he's got 5 too.
Wait.
And this is where it
99?
gets dicey. I personally would not put Kobe over Tim Duncan as much as I love Kobe being Bryant, and I love Kobe being Bryant.
Yeah.
I cannot. I just can't put him over Tim Duncan here, just because of the fact that, look, Tim Duncan's career also lasted very long, right? Just
Right.
like Kobe. Tim Duncan had a lot more. Also stuck with one team, just like Kobe. Although he did flirt with going to the
5.
Magic, but that's
Yeah.
another topic
Yeah.
for another day. But those 19 years, man, those are just pretty 19 years, right? Tim Duncan was the consummate professional. He was just doing his job. He just did it very well, really. I in
No,
all
that's an
honesty,
interesting point.
I
Yeah.
cannot put
That
Kobe
is an
Bryant in
interesting
front
point.
of Tim Duncan.
Uh-huh.
This is probably the next person on this list is Shaq.
Shaq.
And there's an argument to be made that you can put Kobe over Shaq, right? I personally wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't put Kobe in front of Shaq just because of the fact that the championships that they won together. You can say that the first one was always going to be because of Shaq. The second one and the third one, that's more of them sharing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the dominance that Shaq put on the game. If we're going to take that into account, man,
Yeah.
Shaq is the most dominant force in NBA history.
He is.
I
100%.
I can't the with this list, right? So my realistic placing for Kobe, I would put him, and again, this really depends on the time of the day that we're talking about this. But I can realistically put Kobe probably at, I mean, fittingly, at the 8th spot here.
At the eighth.
I think that's where
That's,
he's
reasonable,
probably gonna be at. But what do you think about that? Is 8 okay, or is this something that needs to go higher?
I would I think it really depends on how, what criteria you have, for
Yeah.
like for me, like a lot of, if we were to put impact and influence as a criteria, I think he would, Kobe would be, much much higher.
Yeah.
Just because, of just the, and also the X factors, the mindset, the mentality. I think, it just puts, like, his mindset just puts him on that, on that level of, where of where MJ is. So kind of, if that's a criteria, then that would, put him a little bit higher than 8, I think.
And this is the fun part about these discussions. It's pretty subjective.
Yeah.
There's
It's
no way to
subjective.
objectively frame this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I hate comparing eras just because of the
Right.
fact that it's a different context. Really, it's
so
tough
different.
when you're
Yeah.
you want to try to quantify things that aren't quantifiable, but it is what it is.
Right.
That's the fun part of talking sports, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But
Of
yeah,
course.
Kobe's definitely in my list, the second
Yeah.
best shooting guard, obviously.
Yeah.
From a personal list, he's on my top 3, I would say. But from an objective list, as subjective as I could get,
As objective as we can be. Yeah.
top 10 is where he's gonna
Top
be
10.
at. He's probably gonna sit into that 7,
Which
8
is
spot.
Yeah.
Which is the fun part about it.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you talked about Kobe's impact on culture. We all know that Kobe is your favorite player's favorite player. They wear shoes. They wear a lot of Kobe shoes. One of the most
Yep.
popular shoe lines right now for NBA players. Another one is the Jordan brand, obviously.
The Jordan
one of the
brand.
most popular of
Yes,
all
sir.
time. But what you don't see on people's feet, and I don't think I saw it like on 2 players, is